was introduced into this business a second time. I was presented it a first time, didn't really do anything with it. Second time it came around, we were at the Eric Worre Recruiting Mastery event down in Las Vegas, and I got a call from my sponsor, which is Daryl Drake. And Mr. Drake had called me up and he said, look, we're getting ready to do this amazing thing with Total Life Changes, da 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 da. And, I was honest with Daryl. I was like, Daryl, no, Mr. Drake, I don't want to do anything. And it was so funny because I went back in to the event with you all, and I was listening to, can't remember who was speaking at the time because my mind was still going, but one of the things that was said, and you remember this, they said, if you look around the room and you see all the million-dollar earners in the company, the reason why they're million-dollar earners is because they had a product. And I was like, oh, okay, hold on a second. So I jumped up out of there, ran out in the hallway, and I called Daryl, and I said, you know what, Mr. Drake, whatever it is, give me your link. I'm going to go ahead and sign up. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll just sign up. So, I got my tea, tried my tea, and, I'm like most women. I breathe air and I gain weight. So when I first got the tea, guys, it was kind of really weird because I was like, okay, this is a setup. Because my first 5 days of drinking this stuff, I lost 5.4 pounds. And like I said, I'm the type of person, I breathe air and I gain weight. At one point, I was 257 pounds, but I'd lost 114 pounds, not solely drinking the tea, but from other avenues. So after the first 5 days, I kind of thought, you know what? That was just a setup. Like, that was just so weird that it happened that way. I'm going to try it for another 5 days. So I tried it for another 5 days, guys, and at the end of that 10-day period, I was down 12.2 pounds. And, I sat there thinking, I'm a woman. I'm like, you know what? This just answered every woman's prayer. We secretly pray, dear God, please make me skinny. And it was happening with the tea. But it was crazy because, like, along the lines of doing that, I was also trying some other products. Like, everybody's talking about the tea, but, guys, we also have the Delgada. This is a slimming coffee. So the same thing the tea does, the coffee does too. So I was randomly going through stuff, did some research on the company, found out that it was around for 15 years. It was just fairly new in the United States with less than a year. Did more research and found out that at that time it had over 900% growth in the last 12 months. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is exactly what I'm looking for. A company with stability, a company with a solid foundation. And I think I even told you this. I said, Steve, I just did a little bit of work. If they pay me a check, it's over with. If I get a check and that check cashes, it's done. So, I did a little bit of work. I got my first paycheck. That paycheck cashed. Well, not even a paycheck. I don't work for nobody. I work for myself. I'm so used to the whole paycheck thing. But that check cashed and it was over with. It was lights out. I was done. I couldn't keep my mouth shut about anything. And it was like after I started doing all this research on the products, and you guys talked about the NutriBurst. So this is all the minerals, everything in 1 tablespoon. So 73 minerals, all the great stuff. And then we didn't talk about the Gano, guys. If you guys have not heard about Gano, go and Google. Google will be your best friend. Ganoderma, and find out what these pills are all about. Amazing things, trust me. One of the ones that I like the best, guys, just to give you a little brief scenario, chaga. Guys, when I tell you this stuff is the bomb, this stuff is the bomb. Like, chaga is pretty much like anti-inflammatory. So for those of you guys who have arthritis, joint pain, anything like that, chaga is perfect. It also based on research out of Russia, China, and Japan, it also stops the reproduction of cancer cells. So guys, if you heard me correctly, it halts the reproduction of cancer cells based on the research that was done in Russia, China, and Japan. Then, of course, we have our skincare line. We have our facial scrubs. We have our Sol, which is our day cream, our Ojos, which is our eye cream, and then we have this amazing thing called the Iaso oil, which is an emu oil. For those of you who have eczema, perfect. Those of you who have joint pains, tennis elbow, tendonitis, carpal tunnel, whatever it is, take this stuff, literally put a squirt, rub it in your pain area, and within a matter of minutes, it's gone. No more Tylenol, no more Excedrin, no more of the bad putting it in your body when an amazing oil does that for you. Plus, it takes care of your dry skins, anything like that. So, guys, we have a huge product line, and that's what got me, because then to top it off, some people don't want to admit it, but we have, female and male support products for sexual performance. So it was like we had an open array of products. We have the garment line, we have the swim care line, we have the nutrition, health, everything. Guys, I could go on forever and ever. But with the products, that was a no-brainer. And then when they smacked me with that compensation plan, and I actually understood the compensation plan and saw how easy it was for everybody to win, that was whenever it was really lights out. And that compensation plan is ridiculous.
Wow. Wow. All those. Well, what I'm seeing here, Candace, is that one thing I noticed about a lot of the leaders here that are in the panel, and even yourself, is that you definitely became a product of the product from day one.
Oh yeah.
The product, and so kind of give us a little bit more in terms of how did that really help you start, getting those commissions and everything? Because we definitely got the great products. How was it you using those products? How did that really help you in terms of driving sales?
Of course, when you become a product of the product, guys, you're able to share a testimony. I have skin of a 13-year-old, and I'm 33. So to be able to actually use a product that was good for my skin, didn't excessively dry my skin out, and it started to clear my skin up was huge, because I spent tons of money on dermatologists. The Chaga with the anti-inflammatory, my husband's 36 years old. He needs a double knee replacement already because of the type of work that he does. He used to be a cop, now he's a coal miner. He works 700 feet underground just to make sure you guys can turn your light switches on. But this helped. No longer does he have to take his Celebrex. Since he's been taking Chaga, he doesn't get the gel injections in his knee or his hip anymore, because this takes the inflammation out of his joint pain. The NutriBurst, of course, that's absolutely awesome, because for those of you guys who have followed me, 3 years ago I had gastric band surgery, and after you have gastric surgery, after so long, you gain your weight back. Well, one of the things that I had to do on gastric band surgery is I had to take liquid vitamin because I couldn't swallow pills. If you only knew the type of money that I spent in getting all of my vitamins in liquid form for the month, and I spend not even a fourth of that, and I have it all in one bottle. Then on top, the Emu oil, the joint pains with my husband, the dry skin for myself. It was just becoming a product of the product. I was able to share testimonies that were real-life testimonies that really worked, something that nobody wrote on a blog. Nobody said, oh, yeah, this is absolutely phenomenal. I knew for a fact it was. So then when I was reading these stories, I could kind of, match my story to theirs and like, okay, yeah, it really does work. So I'm not the only one that's experiencing these phenomenal results. And whenever I had a product that I knew worked and I shared it, I had a product that I can identify with just about everybody that I was affiliated with and associated with. And that's what I liked about it. I wasn't limited to a certain niche of person. Everybody that I come in contact with, I have something for them. And that's what I love the most. And that's why I was able to capitalize. And like Terrence said, I've been in the company technically since November 23rd, started promoting it about December-ish. And I'll tell you, I'm getting ready to come up on my 3-month anniversary. And for the last 9-10 weeks, I've had comma checks every week. And I'm sure you're familiar with a comma check, but every week for at least that time frame, I've had a comma check, which means, there's a comma before the decimal point. So just to give you guys an idea.